for the but technical glitch there. Um, these are the top skills for pharmacists, which is being recognized globally. Just as I stated earlier, these lists are inexhaustible. You have a lot of them there, but I just took the top 10, which will benefit us from communication skills down to lifelong learning. So I'll just go through the skills and tell you how these are important in your professional and how you can use them to expand in your career. Now, communication and writing skills is something that even during the clinical practice is being taught in the pharmaceutical industry in the school. Now, you need communication skills in patient counseling and education. But believe me, outside the pharmacy domain, can you communicate effectively? Because one thing I noticed with most pharmacists is most mechanism of action, evening, and so on and so forth. But with public office holders level, and there will be you'll be called upon to present an issue on your meant to improve advice skills in interprofessional collaboration. The pharmacist is not in isolation area. Pharmacists, you communicate with the public. Sometimes we organize outreaches, and if you organize outreaches, what we need to tie those big medical terms into simpler forms will audience will understand. That will not be passed effectively. Even call upon to have a meeting with the CMD and say, I don't think I need pharmacists in the hospital. I don't think I need pharmacists in the ward for ward rounds. How are you going to communicate all present your skill? The top management is through your writing skills and communication skills. You have to communicate your evidence clearly, break it down in such a way that they will understand. Use persuasive language. You're not fighting. Most of the time, we get frustrated when we don't know how to communicate or present our cases, and we get frustrated and we end up arguing or fighting ourselves. But if you know your stuff and you know how to communicate it better and present it better, then you are at the tip of your career. No wonder when you have people like the comrades during the undergraduate school who are not afraid to speak. These are the kind of people that probably they will stand for you and speak on your behalf when someone is being marginalized in the industry or in the hospital in his career. If you start working with most multinational companies, you on a daily basis you will write a lot of reports. You will communicate with director with a lot of. If you don't, if your communication is not polished, then you struggle a lot. Those skills are not being learned over time, but we learn them with experience. What are the tips you need to be doctors in night before then? I have to brush over my slide and present more than 3 filler words and I try as much as possible to I don't let my doctors know everything. They don't know so that the message can be passed in so simplistic manner. So this is which pharmacists are. You need is critical thinking and problem solving. Now, when it comes to critical thinking, a lot of pharmacists where they feel that that is it all. Now, in every department which you are working, whether you are freelancer, community pharmacy, or hospital pharmacy, or an industrial this is where the problem which you might want to solve. You think, for example, you have issue of stock. Your critical thinking and problem solving skills, and is part of the transferable skills which you need. So, what are the tips you need to develop these skills, especially the critical thinking skills? Always identify a need and provide a solution. For example, if itself, what is causing that pain? What's causing that delay? So I want to streamline the process. You ask yourself those questions and you begin to profile solution. These are some of the things. Are there bureaucracies, maybe payment done before the patient comes to get his patient, maybe it's a constipation, maybe it has developed complication or is dead. How do you reduce those bureaucracies or bottlenecks in the hospital? Ask yourself. Once you start thinking about stability and digitally, and of course, nobody will hide away from that. I think 20 years back, we don't have phones or Android phones. In Nigeria, 2002 or so, and the early 2000s now and into it. Now, one area you need to know is that apart from the digital literacy, there are some tools that learn how to learn as a pharmacist, like Microsoft Excel, data analysis. If you check, if, if, if you struggle to know how to use Microsoft Excel and how to analyze data, is an opportunity for you to learn. You have a lot of platforms that you can learn Microsoft Excel and how then data is useless if you cannot translate meaning into them. You present them in form of they will try as much as every form of with facts. When the era of just as I said, area of AI are doing a lot of things to so well, please and so if you want to develop your digital skills, try to implement little knowledge you learn in your workplace during the presentation. As much as possible, is that how can you streamline paperwork as much as possible to make it in form of presentation, not always writing on paper or sharing hard copies. If you're able to do that, you start little by little. I'm telling you that that is how you adapt and you develop your digital literacy. Then leadership and teamwork. It's a known fact that pharmacists are leaders, during this undergrad, for us, one of the key difference between pharmacy and the medical doctors is that almost all practical experiments which we do, like pharmacology, where they group us, or pharmacokinetics, where they group us. Like if you are writing an exam, all the exams and everything you do is on. You are just isolated, and no wonder if you go to the hospital, most of the time you see the pharmacy being isolated, operating the system properly. I don't think it's good. So one of the ways that you can enhance or build your skill is to collaborate effectively with others, with other healthcare colleagues. And in the leadership, you must learn how to take initiative of whatever is whatever learn to take initiative and contribute meaningfully during any group work. The last but not the least is emotional intelligence and time management. So emotional intelligence in our if you want to translate in your career. If we're talking from the patient point perspective, you need to understand patients and emotions, team emotions. For example, part of emotional intelligence will tell me that, okay, I'm having a presentation with you guys. I should not exceed more than an hour or up to an hour, because most people will be tired and will start dropping off. Emotional intelligence will tell me that, oh, try and wrap up this on time because people are stressed and they are tired. So even if you are working in teams or in work, there are times where you find that your colleagues are exhausted. You don't keep on bombarding them with work. Or somebody doesn't understand work-life balance. There are times that you might be overwhelmed with so many activities. How do how do you activities? You are out to work, you have church, you have- you prioritize your tasks. Urgent and important is not important. Prioritize the task you need to practice and lead boldly. So transferable skills are key to thriving into 21st century workforce. So if you don't have them, most of us have them, but we don't know how to develop them. Identify them and build on them. Thank you very much. At this time, if there is any question or thought or contribution, I would like to answer.
Thank you, fam.
You're
So yes, thank you. So as like just like he said, if you have any questions, if you are shy, that you wouldn't want to use your microphone, please you can use the income message. So please let us share our questions quickly. If you have any questions and you can speak up, please turn on your microphone and ask.
Uh, uh,
Okay, sir. Sir, I have a question.
Okay, Chidera too has a question. Okay, please go ahead.
Yes. That if
Like you want
this
to ask
topic
question?
Awesome. Okay, when I'm
Okay.
done.
Okay, so Mr. Presenter for this wonderful. It is very comprehensive. The problem is here is that I'm working communication barrier between the I'm not understanding their language, not understanding mine too. Religious system. So I'm need to explain some of the communication. So how do I solve this?
Your line is breaking, Hassan. I don't know if I'm the only
Okay,
one. I can't really get it clearly. It's breaking. So can you come again?
okay. What I'm
Yes,
asking?
I think I get.
Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, he's trying to ask that I think the area where he's working in now language, and then he cannot also speak their language or communicate with them. So it is
Okay.
an issue for him trying to discharge his duties as a
Yeah.
pharmacist, probably
Yeah.
in terms of training their prescription,
Yeah.
counseling, and all of that.
Yeah.
As how can he solve that issue?
Yeah.
Then secondly, secondly, the management of the hospital farmers as people that do not want not have some contribution give to the patient health care. And even among the senior pharmacists here do not. So I don't know how to even convince them dispense and to convince the management too that there's a lot to be one farmer in the healthcare teams that will actually can solve the like most officially problems. Hello.
Yeah. I heard what you said, but it's breaking. I don't know if Regina, you had him clearly because you said that you have issue with the management, and I don't want to interrupt your thoughts. The line was a little bit breaking, so I didn't get the question very well.
I got his question.
Okay.
Yes, he was trying to ask. He was also saying another issue he's having with the place of work is that the the processes or the dispensing and then the hospital management is not really doing anything much to improve that. And then it's also an issue for him to communicating with the senior pharmacists and making them see that there is a reason for an upgrade or for a total makeover of the pharmacy system in the hospital, that he doesn't know how he can communicate effectively and convince them, both the senior pharmacist and the management, so that something
Okay.
is done.
Okay, so swiftly, let me answer his first question about language barrier. Uh, we have had that. I've faced similar example when I was working in the north, where you have some medical professionals who don't know how to speak Hausa, and they want to communicate with the patients to get their clinical records. One thing I can recommend for you, if you can get an interpreter. I don't know if that is clear. Do you understand? And if you get an interpreter, then it makes the work process a little bit flow because it's not you combining work and learning another language. But if you feel that you have the ability to learn their language is a plus for you, I know that people they say that have learned 2 or 3 languages, they are smarter and intelligent. But I know the stress of pharmacy will not be able to do this, get an interpreter. And probably if you want to communicate with them, if you get an interpreter, there are some words that they can interpret that are so common that you can start using. with them. That is how you break a language barrier. I don't expect you to know everything. For me, I don't know how to speak Yoruba or I don't know how to speak Igbo. And you don't expect me if I go to a place I want to communicate where predominantly you don't understand English and Igbo, I will communicate. One of the things I can do is just to get an interpreter who will make my work seamlessly. Now, presenting to an organization, that is, you want to convince the management to do some things to you. You don't just go and communicate with them verbally without anything. You do your research. You look at where do you have those practices, those best practices in Nigeria or outside Nigeria. You can use case example of these are the templates that you want to use in this hospital, but the management are resistant. Okay, you have already identified a problem there, right? You discuss with any of your colleagues who is in the Nigerian hospital or who is, or you do your research and look at the hospital in the Western world. This is what they do, and this is the impact on patient lives. Now, you write it in that is where your written and communication skills and analysis skills come into play. Because if you don't know how to play with data and to communicate it effectively to your management, you'll make fool of yourself.
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, you can.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, thank you for that wonderful presentation. That was well spot on. So you talked about books that you used that helped you with issue of communication. As I don't know if you can kindly share the name of the book so that something we can also get on our own and go through them. Thank you very much.
This books in this talk is based on my need that I did that. So one of the books I have, I college of that really complete and it spoke about communication, business, and other things, psychology of selling. Then there are some business which I read personally. It depends on your need. I also read Pullman. It's in the bookstore on the group chat, or I can send it to the coordinator of the group, and she can share it in your group. Thank you. Once you go to a bookstore, just identify an area that you need, that you are deficient in. Perhaps someone might be good in communication, and probably his negotiation that could be his challenge. You can get a negotiation book. For me, at each point of I am deficient in something, I get the book, I read, and I try to practicalize it. When I saw that negotiation was a problem,
With the has the lecturer is not around, not used to see. We just this is what we see, and there's nothing we can do about it. We try to show them like the effect of Western. So how can we convince this that already traumatized?
I didn't get to probably the network. I just can you please come again? I don't know if network or yours, Hassan.
Okay. What I'm the collaboration with the other
Other healthcare professionals collaboration. Okay.
one of the members there is a nurse.
Okay.
What I'm saying, this nurse is I don't they are training to be so traumatized also
Okay.
raising some problems you discuss simply because they would what we see from the folder AMPA
Okay.
who prescribe or who that plan is not around.
Yeah.
With you they to head and do that is wrong, which even at the life of the patient. So at this do I need to go extra miles to frustrate them or to fight them or in this kind of situation?
From what I get, even though it's still breaking, is issue of collaboration between you nurses and the doctors, where prescription is being made, and probably at the detriment of the doctor. Regina, am I correct? At the detriment of the patient? I don't know if somebody had him clearly, so that he can just summarize what he said. My network is still.
What I'm trying to show back.
Regina or Chidera, can you just summarize what he said? The network, I'm battling with the network, so uh, it's breaking. I know he spoke about challenge with collaboration with the nurses and if uh, and something that hinders the patient. Please, can you help me? The network is breaking, Hassan. I don't know if it's from my end or from your end.
From my end too is the same thing, but then
Hearing you
what
loud
I
and
was
clear.
able to understand is that he said if he should help them or he should
From
frustrate
my
them.
end
I think I heard those two
too.
words
I
from
can give you my details, and we can talk over that on phone on WhatsApp. So, is that okay? Yeah. So, do we have any other concern or experience?
Yes, I don't know.
Yes, I don't know.
Chidera, can I go on?
Chidera, can I go?
Okay. I want
Okay.
to thank you so much, sir, for this
Um, I
opportunity.
want to
My
thank you
question
so much,
is
sir, for
not basically
this
related
opportunity.
to
My
this topic,
question
but
is
I don't know if you can drop a
not
word of
basically
advice
related
because
to this
most
topic, but
persons
I
here, some
don't
of
know if
them
you can
are
drop a word of advice because
interns, some of them are
most
seeking
persons
internship
here,
slots,
some of
and
them are
some people are kind of
interns, some of them
confused.
are seeking
What
internship slots,
part of
and
pharmacy should they
some
focus
people
on?
are kind
I
of
don't know if you
confused.
have a word of
What
advice from your
part of
experience
pharmacy
to
should they
share with the
focus
house,
on?
please.
I don't know if you have a word of advice from your experience to share with the house, please.
Okay. I was once confused, like most of the people here, and one thing I want to tell you is that it's not too late for you to change career path. I'm not saying you should change pharmacy, change career path. When I was in the undergraduate, I have passion for hospital pharmacy, to become a hospital pharmacy, clinical pharmacist. And when I started working in the hospital, I don't have that zeal and um, that enthusiasm to continue in the hospital, and I have to switch to the um, industry, that is pharmaceutical repping and speaking with people, because that is what I have flair for. So whenever you start, I want you to know this, that if you're not comfortable with where you are, first of all, go back to the drawing board and ask yourself, what am I good at? How can I, what are the skills that I need to transition to this? And you network with the people who are there and you transition there. Don't just quit your job. Maybe you're a hospital pharmacist or community pharmacist, and perhaps you know in Nigeria you have a lot of bills to pay. Make sure that you build the relevant skills that are there. Then you network with your senior colleagues and get some form of mentoring before you transition. You want to go to an NGO? What kind of NGO? Write those things down. Most of us we are confused. That's the truth. Because they say if you finish pharmacy, they pay you internship, you have money. From money, you go for service, you come, you work anywhere benefits. Don't be like that. Write your top three organizations you want to work with. Which one do you have that skills in? Then network with people in that organization. One of the easiest way you can network with people in the organization is through LinkedIn. Any organization you want to work with. And once you are working with, once you are networking with those people, if you meet with them one on one or online, just on your own ask them that what problem do they have in their organization and what skill do they require. You can just ask them. They can tell you, and you can develop. And you know you're not good at Excel. You can then get trained to learn. Do you understand? So and you can move there. If you want to go into fintech, you can go. If it's public health, you go there. So don't be confused. Just know what you want. Know what you want. You will be the one to carry your cross at the end of the day. You understand? So don't stick in a place that you'll be frustrated. A lot of people are not happy with their jobs. You understand? But find a niche. Where do you think you can excel and you can do well? Most of us we follow our friends because my friend is a medical rep, he's driving a new car, I want to go there. And you don't know the pressure that comes with it. You go there 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, you are being frustrated, and you come back and you are asking yourself, what job will I do? Don't just follow your friends. Know what you want and you stick to the plan. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Please, if you have any
Thank
other question, feel free to ask so that we can learn from his well of
you
wisdom.
so much, sir. Please, if you have any other question, feel free to ask so that we can learn from his well of wisdom.
I think one question because the time is up.
I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Using my name, Ikra Wanje, on LinkedIn, and we can always have a chat. Uh, and I'm very open for any conversation or any other thing. I saw your question, Hassan. We'll have an in-depth discussion with you after the call. Maybe we can just talk on WhatsApp. So that can be my contact, and we just discuss. In the absence of anything, thank you for the organizing, being active for your time and engagement. I'd love to hear from you subsequently. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We sincerely appreciate
Uh,
on behalf of the house.
Thank you
Please,
so
a
much,
round of
sir. We
applause. This is
sincerely
a
appreciate
clapping
on behalf of
emoji,
the house.
please.
Please, a round of applause. This is a clapping emoji,
We
please.
are grateful that you honored our invitation and you did marvelously
We
well.
are
Hearing from
that
you,
you
and we are glad that you are
honored our
present, and then
invitation
we hope that your well of wisdom will never
and
run
you
dry.
did
Thank you so much,
marvelously
sir. We
well.
appreciate.
We hope to still keep hearing from you, and we are glad that you are present, and then that your wisdom will never run dry. Thank you so much, sir. We appreciate.
You're welcome. Enjoy your weekend, everyone. Really nice speaking to you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
If you are joining us for the first
If
time,
you
this is
are
Former
joining
Pro
us for the
Mastery Hub.
first time, this is from Pro Mastery Hub.
Feel free to send us messages if
Feel
you
free
would like
to
to know
send us
more about
messages
Former Pro
if you would
Mastery Hub.
like to know more
Our
about
time is
Pro
fast
Mastery Hub.
spent, so we'll be
Our
going
time
back
is
to our
fast
WhatsApp
spent,
group.
so we'll be going
So if
back
you're
to our
not a
WhatsApp
member
group.
of Former Pro
So if you're
Mastery
not
Hub,
a
feel free
member of
to chat
Pro
us up
Mastery
so
Hub,
that we
feel
can
free to
update you.
chat us up so
Thank
that
you
we can
everyone
update
for
you.
being a part of
Thank you
this
everyone
meeting. We
for being a
appreciate.
part of this
Have a great
meeting. We
night rest.
appreciate. Have a great night rest.